game, you have the group on the floor. Dana's on the bench. What was the decision there to leave Dana on the bench late in the game?
That wasn't the decision was made. This group was going. You don't stop the momentum. The group was going.
Teresa Weatherspoon just hit the mute button on questions about the Indiana Fever. But here's the thing, her silence might be louder than any words she could have said. What's really going on with the Chicago Sky, and why is their coach keeping quiet? And before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much.
So when you consider how they're kind of bringing your team back into the game, again, does that play into potentially inserting?
Games are games. Games are games. There's so many things that happens in games, and you make the adjustments in the game.
Now, back to the video. Remember when the Sky were soaring high? Now they're in a 5-game free fall, and Weatherspoon's gone radio silent. But here's the real shocker. What if her silence isn't about hiding failure, but about cooking up a comeback? The Sky might be about to pull off the biggest turnaround in WNBA history. Let's break it down. The Chicago Sky are in trouble, and I mean serious trouble. They've dropped 5 games in a row, and fans are starting to wonder if the wheels are coming off. But it's not just about losing games. There's something bigger brewing beneath the surface. The critics are taking aim at Weatherspoon, and they're not pulling any punches. Some are accusing her of being too focused on individual player records, especially when it comes to Aja Wilson. One fan didn't mince words, saying, if the Sky keep letting Reese chuck up shots to break records, they will lose. Tapoon needs to be coach and not worry about records.
One thing about Kennedy is she's accepted her role. As of right now, she's accepting her role and doing a hell of a job in her role.
Ouch. But wait, it gets worse. Some are questioning Weatherspoon's maturity and leadership. Another commenter went as far as calling her an immature, entitled little child who can't coach. Double ouch. With criticism like that flying around, you'd think Weatherspoon would be quick to defend herself, right? Wrong. Instead, she's chosen to stay silent. No explanations, no excuses, no nothing. And that silence, it's speaking volumes. You might be wondering, why would a coach clam up when her team is struggling? Well, here's where it gets interesting. What if Weatherspoon's silence is actually a strategic move? Think about it. By refusing to answer questions, she's shielding her team from even more scrutiny. It's like she's taking all the heat so her players can focus on turning things around. But there's another possibility. What if Weatherspoon's silence is buying time for something bigger? The Sky's recent performance isn't just a slump, it's a nosedive. The team is facing internal struggles, and the frustration is growing among players and fans alike. It's clear that something needs to change, and fast. So here's the million-dollar question. Is Weatherspoon's silence hiding a major overhaul in the works? The pressure is mounting for her to make adjustments, and fans are questioning her every move. But what if she's working behind the scenes on a complete team makeover? While Chicago's basketball scene looks bleak, there's a fever sweeping through Indiana. The Fever are on a hot streak, and it's got everyone talking, everyone except Weatherspoon. What does she know about this surging team that's got her holding her tongue?
But when you're aggressive, normally that happens. So we're a little more aggressive in the second half. A little bit better trying to get to the rim.
The Indiana Fever aren't just playing better basketball. They're rewriting the WNBA narrative. Once overlooked, they're now the team to watch. Their recent surge has caught the attention of fans, analysts, and opponents alike. It's not just about winning games, it's about how they're doing it. At the heart of this transformation, Caitlin Clark. This rookie sensation isn't just living up to the hype, she's exceeding it. Clark's game has evolved faster than anyone expected. She's not just scoring, she's orchestrating the entire offense. Her ability to read the court and make split-second decisions has turned the Fever into a well-oiled machine. But it's not just her passing that's turning heads. Clark's physical play has taken a leap. She's absorbing contact and finishing at the rim like a veteran. It's as if she's unlocked a new level in her game, and the rest of the league is scrambling to keep up. The Fever's improved gameplay isn't just about Clark though. The entire team has found a new rhythm. Their pace is quicker, their passes sharper, and their teamwork, it's on another level. They're moving as one unit, and it's making them a nightmare for any opponent, and this surge has people talking playoffs. Yes, you heard that right. The Indiana Fever, once considered an easy win, are now potential playoff contenders. Analysts are even speculating they could sneak into the postseason and maybe, just maybe, win a first-round series. It's not just idle chatter. The Fever have shown they can hang with the best. They're not just winning, they're threatening to upset higher ranked teams. This isn't the same Fever team we saw at the start of the season. They've evolved, adapted, and come out stronger. So what does all this have to do with Teresa Weatherspoon and the Chicago Sky? Everything. The Sky are about to face off against this red-hot Fever team, and Weatherspoon's silence. It might be more strategic than we thought. Think about it. The Fever are on fire, playing some of the best basketball in the league. Their momentum is building, and they're hungry for more wins. If you're Weatherspoon, do you really want to give away your game plan for containing this explosive team? Her silence could be a calculated move. By refusing to answer questions about the Indiana Fever, she's keeping her cards close to her chest. No hints about defensive strategies, no clues about how they plan to slow down Clark. It's radio silence, and it might be the Sky's best weapon against the Fever's onslaught. But there's more to this story. The upcoming Sky versus Fever matchup isn't just any game. It's a clash between two teams on completely different trajectories. The Sky struggling to find their footing versus the Fever riding a wave of momentum. It's David versus Goliath, but the roles have been reversed. As the Fever and Sky prepare to face off, there's an elephant in the room nobody's talking about. What if Weatherspoon's tight-lipped approach is hiding something big? Something that could flip the script on Chicago's entire season.
How are you going to use this as a measuring stick to assess whether or not maybe some changes need to happen?
Let's talk about the Sky's potential comeback. You might be thinking, comeback? They've lost 5 straight. But hear me out. What if Weatherspoon's silence isn't just about avoiding tough questions? What if it's the calm before a storm of major changes? Think about it. The Sky are in a tough spot, no doubt, but great teams don't stay down forever. They adapt, they evolve, they come back stronger. And that's exactly what the Sky might be doing behind closed doors. So what kind of changes are we talking about? First up, tactical adjustments. The Sky's current game plan clearly isn't cutting it. They might be working on a complete overhaul of their offensive strategy. Maybe they're developing new plays to maximize their strengths and exploit their opponent's weaknesses. But it's not just about X's and O's. Leadership changes could be on the horizon too. Not necessarily at the top. Weatherspoon's job seems safe for now, but what about shaking up the team's internal leadership structure? Giving more responsibility to certain players? Or bringing in a veteran presence to steady the ship? Now, you might be wondering, can a few changes really turn things around? Absolutely. Just look at other teams in the league that have bounced back from similar situations. Remember when the Las Vegas Aces were struggling early last season? They made some adjustments, found their rhythm, and ended up as serious contenders. The Sky could be on the verge of a similar turnaround. They've got the talent, they've got the experience. Maybe all they need is a new approach, a fresh perspective to unlock their potential. And let's not forget about the upcoming Sky versus Fever matchup. This game could be a turning point for both teams. The Fever are riding high, full of confidence. The Sky, they're hungry, desperate for a win, and sometimes that desperation can fuel incredible performances. But here's where it gets really interesting. What if Weatherspoon's silence is more than just a strategic move? What if it's a sign that big changes are already in motion? Think about it. If you're about to unveil a completely new strategy, you wouldn't want to give your opponents any hints, would you? Weatherspoon's refusal to comment could be her way of keeping a lid on some major developments within the Sky organization. Maybe they're bringing in new assistant coaches with fresh ideas, or perhaps they've been working on some innovative training techniques to get the team back in top form. The beauty of silence is that it leaves room for speculation, and in this case, that speculation could work in the Sky's favor. Their opponents don't know what to expect. The Fever might be preparing for the same old Sky, only to face a completely reinvented team. This upcoming game isn't just about winning or losing, it's about making a statement. If the Sky come out with a new look, a new strategy, and a newfound determination, it could be the spark that ignites their comeback. Alright, let's break it down. Weatherspoon's silence has everyone guessing. Is she protecting her team, planning a major shakeup? Or maybe she's got a secret strategy to take down the red-hot Fever. Whatever the reason, it's clear something big is brewing in Chicago. The Sky are in a tough spot, but this could be their chance to turn things around. With the Fever on fire and Caitlin Clark making waves, this upcoming game is more than just a regular matchup. It's a potential turning point for both teams. So what's your take? Will the Sky bounce back, or will the Fever keep their momentum going? One thing's for sure, Weatherspoon's silence speaks volumes. It might just be the spark that ignites the Sky's comeback. Sometimes the loudest messages come from what's left unsaid.